Little change of scenery here. I am getting close to being able to paint the body here in my computer room, electronic workstation room, 3D printing room, etc. here. I've got a fairly heavy coat of primer that I put on that's had plenty of time to dry as I've been working on some other things. And one thing before I can paint it, obviously I have, well, maybe it's not obviously because the camera's probably not picking it up, but this primer coat, for whatever reason, I've got a lot of bumps. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the humidity, the temperature, or what. I pretty much did this primer coat the same as all the others, but I have some bumps, and I'm sure they'll sand out. It's just odd that it happened. But before I can paint this white, and before I want to do a final sanding, there's making sure all of these, what they call greebles, just little pieces to add detail, fit. So some of these are rectangular, some are square. There's this is called a coin return. It looks like from an arcade game, a coin return, which is ironic because one of my other hobbies is arcade games. It's just the data point, power point, whatever. This is another one. There's a hexagonal port over here. So you want to make sure that these fit before you paint it, because if you don't, then you'll have your nice finished paint on it, and then you'll go to put them in and they won't fit, and you might mess up your paint making any adjustments to get them to fit. So these were the two that had a fair bit. This is the one that had the most work needed to fit in there right. And when I say right, they're loose, fairly loose. They don't wiggle or wobble. They're not that loose, but they're loose enough to account for the fact that you are going to paint this white. So there will be another coat of paint on the area, and then these need to be painted. This particular one is painted silver. So you've got multiple additional coats of paint. So if you make them so they're really super tight to go in, once you've got all those additional layers of paint, they're going to be too tight. So this one took some figuring out why it wasn't quite fitting right. And I've kind of got the little fluorescent light here. Hoping this will show. It looks like it will. Over here, this part of the wall stuck out a bit, and that's ghosting. It's because you've got this nice flat area that printed nice and smooth, and then when it got to this incline, this part is at an angle. You can see here, here's the piece that fits in. As it was printing this angle, vibrations or whatever in the printer, when it got to this area, it printed this area a bit too far in that direction. And so I wasn't able to get the piece in left to right, and it turned out it was because this was sticking out too far. So I scraped away with a knife. It was enough material I didn't want to just sand it, so I used a knife and scraped material away so it would fit left and right. My next problem was it was fitting really tight up and down, and I didn't want it really tight. Like I said, I'm going to put paint in here, so I wanted it to be able to slide in easily. And I found that there's some more print artifacts here in these corners here. And I think that was pushing the bottom up, which was making the top tight. So this one is Of course, it's in the front of R2D2. There's two of these that are a little bit smaller that go in the back. Those were easy to get in, but this one took more work. And being in the front, I wanted it to be nice. So, through a combination of sanding the side and the bottom of the body, I also sanded several parts on the back side of this piece to get it where it sits in flush. One thing to note, this does fit in flush, but there's a little recess right here, right? So the body line, you've got the body height, and then there's like a panel line, kind of like these, that sits down recessed, and then this sits flush with the body. So you are going to see just a tiny bit of the inside of this piece. So this piece, being silver, is going to have silver paint on all four sides, at least just a little bit on the top, just enough so when that goes in, you don't see black right here in this panel line, you see silver. So I can get my fingernail in there because there's that gap. So I'm thinking worst case scenario, if I paint the top of this silver, I might have to sand it back right up to that line that you can see, because there's the panel gap, so that'll allow room for the silver paint. But if it ends up being a little bit too tight, left or right, up or down, and I paint the whole side piece all the way around silver, I might have to sand it back until it fits in good enough and there's just enough paint so you'll see silver in there if you look in there. I mean, it'll be really hard to see, but it's something to keep in mind. That's another reason why you should try and test fit these. And again, I'm using the Mark III body cut version. Cut so it fits on a printer with a 300 by 300 millimeter print bed. You'll notice these, the way that these greebles attach on the Mark III body is completely different than the version 2 body. These are all held in square nuts, get dropped down in there, and they fall all the way down to there, and then from inside the droid you screw a bolt that goes into the nut on each side, and that's what holds that piece in. So then another example is this one here. This one's a little bit different. This is a square piece that goes into the curved body. That other one, the piece is curved to match the body. So this one, as far as painting the top, because the outside part of this is also silver, you don't need any paint on the sides of this, because if you look, and this one again just fits, it sits just a little bit recessed on the left and right, and because it's square, there's a lot of room down there. So you'll see that white, and if you got down on your hands and knees, you'd see white up here. And you'll see a little bit of white along the edge, but you won't see the silver on this piece up here or down here. All the way around is completely inside, recessed. A fair amount here where the curve of the body is, and just a bit here where the body's straight up and down. So that doesn't need any paint on it. And again, this one's just right for the fit. You don't need any paint around the outside edges. So hopefully, the way this one is just right will allow enough room for just a little bit of white paint on these two edges and the bottom of the top. To allow it to fit back in there and get bolted in the same way with the same setup where you drop 4mm square nuts into the piece, and then there's two holes up there to match two holes up there that'll hold it in place. Now I also, on this one, I wrote F for front. This piece, you print two of them. One goes center front, the other one goes center back, and they're identical pieces. So because my openings are not identical, I first sanded the piece that goes in the back so it was a perfect fit, and then I sanded the piece that goes in the front that's a perfect fit. And this one, although it's a perfect fit here, it's a little bit tight to go in the back. So I've written F for front on this one, and I wrote back on the other one. So as I'm working on getting these sanded and finished and painted, I'll remember that this one is the one that I've already sanded so it fits in the front, and the other one is sanded so it fits in the back. This, like I said, this coin slot, coin return piece here, this one only goes in the front. There's two more like it that go in the back, but they're not as wide on this side. So I made those, I made sure that those both fit. You see in the back, they go on the right and the left, and I made sure that they fit either or. They'll both fit in either the right position or the left position. So the only thing that I marked are these that I've got specifically sanded to fit in, one in the front and one in the back. I've put these in, the coin slots go in here. I think those are in another, yeah, I think those are in another box, so I can't pop those in right now. I've already checked to make sure those fit. I will do it again. The side vents, those I've also, or vent, I guess these are the vent pockets, and these are the side vents because these are the sides. So these vents I can also swap from right to left. And what I haven't done, I haven't checked the side vent fit yet. I did check it a few coats of primer ago and they seemed to be okay, but again I'm going to double check. And then I haven't done a check at all of the utility arms. I've got those out in the garage. I have started work on them, sanding them, so I'm going to bring those in and make sure again that those fit in there. And it's really important, especially on these, that they have a little bit of room because they are articulated. The servos have a gear that will go through that hole. The arms fit in there and they have a gear on the back, and then when the servo moves they come out. So you want to make sure that you've got enough room so they can come out and they're not being pinched because they're too tight or rubbing. They'll eventually rub paint off, which, you know, that's not a huge deal, but I'd like to make sure that these are just enough so that the arms have enough movement to freely open and close without scraping. Like I said, I haven't tried that yet, so we'll see. The other thing are the doors. I can't test fit doors really very well because I haven't done any finish work on the doors. I looked at them and I'm not really happy with the prints. I think I showed that in another video. In fact, I know I did. The door panels, that I've got are a bit rough, so they're going to take a lot of finish work, and I'm just going to have to really hope that any issues with fitment on the door panels can be fixed by adjusting the door panels themselves and don't need the body adjusted much. The body openings are pretty good, are nice, so I think any adjustment should be that would be needed should be just needed in the doors and not the body. Maybe hinges, maybe. Center vent. I haven't tried the center vent recently, but it should be fine because I've tried it since everything was glued together. But again, I'll try that. So I will be trying coin slots, the center vent panel, and the arms. I guess I'll try up here the data port deals. I've never tried those, so I should probably try those. I've got them printed. I just haven't done anything with them since I printed. Make sure they fit in there. But getting really close. Once I've got all that stuff to the point where it seems to fit okay, then I'll be doing sanding on this to get it ready for paint. There are a couple areas that I still could make a bit better, and I haven't decided if I want to just leave them as is or spend the time. Here's one right here. There's a small divot in there, and I've tried to fix it twice already, and I put the filler material in there, and then when I'm sanding, trying to make it level, it just ends up that little divot comes back. It's kind of shiny in that area because I've been playing with it with my finger trying to feel why, if it's just the way I'm sanding it, why it's coming out, why it's not sticking in there. But I went ahead and put another coat of primer over the whole body, so I might try sanding the primer a little bit here, putting a little more filler across there, and then respraying it with the primer. And then there's my seams that I'm not quite happy with. Let's see. This one I am okay with. It's not quite crisp on this edge. It's not quite perfectly straight up and down, but I'm alright with it. This one right here is the one where I think I can get that maybe a little better up here in this area. And it's, sorry about moving the camera around here. It's a little bit on this side. It's a little bit, it could have more material added to it. So it comes in like this and back up again. Now some of that is because this is where I had trouble with my seams. My body panels don't line up right, so it's not going to be perfectly perpendicular because it's not perfectly perpendicular. But I think I got it fairly good. Fairly good, where being on the backside of the droid and being fairly good, it's not something that is going to be a huge deal. So I could get this area just maybe a little bit better, but I am really tired of dinking around with it and might just not mess with it. An idea I had is to get a razor blade, hold a razor blade in there, and then use a small screwdriver and pack the filler material in there to hopefully help with keeping the edge good. So if I do anything with that'll be one area that might get some work. And then there's the other one there. You can see it's a little bit rough there. I'll go over that with the hobby knife, and I'll take some of that roughness down, but that's going to make it a little bit wider open. But again, pull back from this far and painted white, and I think it'll probably be fine. Yes, again, these don't line up perpendicular, so there's nothing I can do to make them perfect. But I think I got them to the point where they're not horrible, right? I mean, at certain angles, it's like, you don't even hardly notice it. Some angles you do. So those are about the only areas that I'm not too pleased with. And two of them are on the very back of the droid, and like I said, aren't horrible. And then the other one is right here in the front, and it's just an annoying little, it just seems to be just a little indentation that I should just be able to put filler in there, carefully sand it, and get rid of that. But I tried it twice and it's still there, so I might give that one more try. So pretty pleased. Again, it's not perfect, but it's 3D printed, and it's not gonna be perfect, but it's looking darn good. I will admit that I am absolutely terrified of painting it white, especially like I got that bubbling in the primer and I don't know why. My other pieces I didn't sand after painting them white. They've just been painted and that's it. No clear coat, no sanding. I was so worried about getting things painted this year that I didn't even think about, do I need to sand after I paint, and then do I need to put a clear coat? Should I put a clear coat? Clear coat's yellow. Do I want to, yeah, I'm still up in the air about the whole clear coat thing. One other thing that I'm not up in the air in anymore about is the dome. Again, this dome I printed in 2017. I printed on a Robo 3D R1 Plus printer. I used the free slicer. Oh god, I can't remember the name of it now. Matter Control. And it's an okay slicer, but it didn't really have quite the out of bounds. Didn't show me that things were out of bounds, so when you print these, because it curves back, I was more paying attention to getting the pieces to fit on the bed, and wasn't paying attention to what's going to happen with the height. So a couple pieces got a bit warped. Some of them, I had one that hit the actually the X stop, the left-right, and didn't print, and I had to build it up with body filler. So I've got it really, I spent a lot of time and primer and everything else and paint, and most of it is good, but there's this one area here where it's just, it dips down here, it's high up here where it's white, and it's just kind of, I cannot get it rounded. I just cannot get it rounded. And then on the other side of it too, there's a bit of a bit that's just not quite round. And so I had decided that I wanted to reprint the dome, but I was putting it off. I was thinking next year I would reprint the dome because I'm concentrating on the body now. But as I'm spending so much time sanding and priming and all that, I realized my printers are just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. And I have enough filament to reprint the dome. So I have started printing the dome again. A little bit different this time. I actually did use PLA Plus the first time I printed it. It was the first time I had ever tried PLA Plus. It was eSun White PLA Plus. This time I am also using eSun PLA Plus, obviously not white. I used up all my white. I bought some red, black, and blue when there was a sale quite a while ago. So the dome will be red and blue. But I'm printing it at a higher resolution this time. Online they suggest 0.3 resolution for the dome, and I'm printing this at 0.2. I'm using the Prusa slicer, and I'm doing 0.2 speed, not 0.2 quality, but 0.2 speed. And this piece here, for example, was a 14-hour print, and I've got just under an hour left. So there's 6 pieces to the circumference, and then there's the 2 pieces on the top that hold the pie panels. I've gone over this before in an earlier video, but I decided, okay, I might as well, since my printers aren't printing anything, I'll go ahead and reprint this on the Prusa in a higher quality, so hopefully it'll take less finish work. And because I'm doing it on the Prusa and I'm using the Prusa slicer, so it's a better printer, not knocking the Robo 3D, it's a really good printer for the price, but this is a better quality printer and the slicer's better. So as I was maneuvering this on the print bed to make sure that it fit horizontally, X and Y dimensions, at a couple points the model actually turns a different color, and that means that I had it where it looked fine on the bed, but again, because this piece arches, the top of it was outside of the print area, so I was able to move it back, and I was happy with the placement of the piece on the print bed. So I know, now that I'm reprinting these, none of them are going to have issues with being too far out of the print area when I'm printing them in any direction. And because it's a 0.2 resolution, it should be less sanding, and because it's on a better printer, it should be a good enough quality where, hopefully, fingers crossed, the pieces all fit together really nice, and I don't have any big bumps, warps, or things to fix. This was printed on TiVo Tornado, cheaper printer. I changed out the stepper motor drivers on it, and I just didn't spend enough time calibrating it, I'm guessing, and that's why I have some alignment issues on the large pieces that I printed on the TiVo Tornado. It's more due to me not taking the time to calibrate it better, especially for large prints. I mean, yes, I can print a little 20 millimeter cube just fine, but when you get something this big, it just seems the larger the piece, the more issues it had. But still, it came together. It took a lot. It's taken so far quite a lot of finish work, but anyway, yeah, I'm reprinting the dome. There's no way I'm going to have enough time this year to get it glued together and finished and painted. That is not my priority, but at least if I can get it finished and glued together, then I know I'll have my permanent dome. And I don't know what I'll do with this. I'll probably, I don't even know if, I might just throw a coat of silver paint on it and see what it looks like without even getting it all the same color. Or I might just put a gloss black coat and try rub and buff. I mean, this is probably just going to be my experimental dome to see what finishing techniques I should use on the actual dome when I get it done. So that's about it for today. Just like I said, getting close to painting. Really, really nervous that I'm gonna mess it up. I've never printed any or painted anything this big before, so fingers crossed. I have decided I'll do it in the garage. I won't be doing it outside like this. I've got some little hairs and stuff in this, and it's because I'm doing all the pieces so far outside. I'll be backing a car out of the garage, maybe putting up some curtains or something, and doing this in the garage to try to keep the dust down when I get to that point, which hopefully will be soon. And as I go around to this area, I should also check the fitment of the hubs, shoulders and hubs in here as well. It's another thing to check. So yeah, getting there.